close. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Sorry about the microphone. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. With liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Classmates, parents, family members, friends, faculty, and esteemed Haddon Township community, we finally made it. Welcome everyone to the Haddon Township Class of 2020 graduation ceremony. I'd first like to thank all of our faculty and administrators who helped us get here today to this rather unconventional graduation ceremony. This entire year has been quite unconventional as well. It is no secret that we have experienced, and still obviously are experiencing, a global pandemic. A pandemic that did not just shut down this community, but the state, the country, and the world. No one on earth right now has ever encountered something quite like what we've experienced together in these past few months. No graduating class before the class of 2020 has had to miss its senior trip, senior prom, and the last 3 whole months of its senior year. No graduating class before the class of 2020 has faced such adversity, such unfairness, and such loss. Not just the loss of those major events, but of the small moments in between. Whether that's the bus ride to a sports game, Paul Capella's sectionals, the laughs shared in modern world, and of course, those precious moments with the friends we've had for as long as we can remember. But our losses are not what set the class of 2020 apart. They're not what makes the class of 2020 special. What makes the class of 2020 special is our response to these circumstances. When the world was put on hold, our class did not keep going. We paused, we waited, we stayed home. We wore masks, stayed 6 feet apart, and still do. We subconsciously said, it's not about me. It's not about my loss. This is about something bigger. Through our actions, our class said, I am a part of something bigger than myself. And this type of behavior was not only shown in response to the pandemic, but through the current injustices in the world. We are currently living through a chapter in future history books, a pivotal time where when people are being mistreated, we fight back. We're living through a time where police brutality, systematic racism, and institutionalized oppression are taking lives. And this time, we don't stay silent. We don't sit home, mourn the days in Disney, and ignore real life. We fight back. Students in this class use social media to share links and petitions. Students in this class donate and raise money to protect those speaking their minds. Students in this class educate themselves and others on the dangers of ignorance and intolerance. Students in this class walk on Philadelphia's Market Street, march forward on 96th Street in Manhattan, and take to our own Haddon Ave to ensure that our voices are heard. Students in this class demonstrated a hunger for equality and justice when we voted to stand here today in gowns that are not categorized by gender, to ensure that every student feels comfortable, safe, and heard. Most importantly, this class showed that we care for other people. The class of 2020 has come to learn that we are a part of something bigger. I implore the class of 2020 to use that voice and determination that we've learned here in HT to continue to speak out against injustice, vote in November, and continue to utilize our strength, privilege, and power as young people, remembering that we are a part of something bigger. Haddon Township, and this year specifically, have taught us that strength and growth are in the moments where you think you can't go on, but you do so anyway. Haddon Township is its own little family. We are a community, and we have been taught from a very young age that there is no I, there's only we. So we hope to take what we've learned here and carry that into the world and be the change that it needs. We start today with this ceremony. Thank you for being here this evening, and we can't wait to begin. Thank you.
Class of 2020. I must confess that I've never written, much less delivered, a speech of this magnitude before ever in my life. So when Mr. O'Brien informed me that I had the honor of speaking today, I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to say. After everything that we've experienced this year, I wanted to offer some profound, life-changing advice that would inspire you all as we enter this new phase of our lives. But I found I could never truly find the right words. As a class, we have fought tooth and nail to reach this moment, to finally graduate high school, and to overcome all of the anxiety and uncertainty of our present situation. I wanted to write a speech that encapsulated that spirit, so I wrote about these unprecedented times and perseverance, and the end result was an endless series of boring and redundant speeches. However, it was after reading through some of these more tiresome drafts that I realized that my own goal of perfection was inhibiting me from actually creating a speech that was meaningful. Life is inherently imperfect, and while those imperfections may cause uncertainty, they also provide us with opportunities to improve ourselves and our communities. By hyper-focusing on perfection, we miss what essentially gives life meaning. Little moments. While we may have been robbed of so many classic senior year moments this year, there are so many more that did occur, both in school and in quarantine. We have those moments with our favorite teachers, in class and on Zoom. We have those moments with our teammates during games, or with our friends on stage, or when we started receiving our first college acceptances. In fact, there are a multitude of moments, such as the senior door decorations, or the various online award ceremonies, or even the project graduation lunch, that are unique to this class alone. While we may have stressed ourselves out about tests or colleges or this pandemic, it is those happy moments in between that make all of the stress and anxiety worth it. Those moments make life beautiful. There will always be uncertainty in life. Often, uncertainty is given a negative connotation, as it is the absence of stability. But uncertainty is only as damaging as you allow it to be. By focusing on those precious moments, uncertainty can not only be endured, but it can be overcome. So, here we all are at graduation. A graduation that none of us could have imagined. A graduation that, at a certain time, seemed doubtful would even occur. Like this speech, this graduation is imperfect. But this is our moment, and that is what makes this graduation truly extraordinary. Congratulations, class of 2020, and thank you. It feels really good.
Hi, my name is Sarah Trez. I'm the class treasurer, and I'm presenting my class's gift. This year was really hard for many people. Our class was lucky enough to even have a graduation. However, others lost more than us. On behalf of the class of 2020, it gives me great pleasure to present to Mr. O'Brien our donation of $500 to the Food Bank of South Jersey for their continued support to help those in need during these difficult times. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. On behalf of the entire faculty and staff, I gratefully acknowledge this generous gift.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to speak on behalf of my fellow seniors at Haddon Township. and to be here tonight in person, celebrating our achievements as the class of 2020. Although the second half of our school year was disrupted, I'm so thankful that we've been gifted the opportunity to come together one last time. I would like to take a moment to thank the Haddon Township School administrators, school board, faculty, staff, teachers, parents, and students for making this event possible. We would not be able to share this special moment without the incredible efforts of our community. I would also like to thank you all for the contributions you have made over the past 4 years. Commitment, dedication, and support have become essential in light of recent events, but individuals at Haddon Township exemplify these qualities every day. While I am beyond grateful that we are able to gather here tonight to share this momentous occasion, something about it remains bittersweet. It feels like just yesterday we were here kicking off senior games, and now we're here again to say our final goodbyes. Looking at the school and the track, I can't help but feel a bit nostalgic. I actually came by the school not too long ago, hoping to find some inspiration for this speech. I ventured down here while reflecting on my time in high school. It had been a while since I'd last been on the track, given that our spring sports seasons were canceled. As I approached the starting line, I recalled a familiar nervous feeling. It reminded me of the case of pre-race jitters I'd get before competing in the 400-meter event. But standing there on the track that day, I had realized that I'd been feeling this way for the past few months, like I was about to run a race. I'm sure many of you have experienced a similar sensation at some point. That nervous energy accompanies almost anyone who embarks upon something new. We will face a series of our own starting lines throughout life, and approaching these unknowns can be daunting, especially when you're unsure of how they're going to play out. However, the easiest way to approach the unknown is by stepping over that line and placing one foot in front of the other. While reminiscing on my track experience, I suddenly realized how much the 400-meter race parallels our time in high school. The stages of the high school experience can be succinctly defined by each of the 100-meter stretches on the track. The first 100 meters represents freshman year. Even though it's only the beginning, it's still a critical period where you develop an understanding of your position amongst others. You're expected to adapt quickly and establish a good footing that'll set you up for success in your future. The first 100 meters flies by, similar to freshman year. We experience many firsts, like the first day of high school, first pep rally, spirit dance, cotillion. It was both exciting and nerve-wracking, but it was just the beginning. Sophomore year can be associated with the second 100 meters in the race. At this point, you've adjusted a little bit, and the primary focus is just to maintain your momentum. This may seem like a longer stretch of time, but it's where you begin to hit your stride. Now that you've shaken the initial butterflies, you have more time to think about where you are and where you'd like to be. When sophomore year ends, we're now about halfway there. However, this is where things begin to get a bit more challenging. Suddenly, there's a change of pace, and the things around you appear to be moving more quickly. This is where you need to dig deep and find a way to exert more energy than you had previously, despite the pressure that's building up. Junior year becomes a juggling act involving relationships, SATs, AHCTs, AP testing, and extracurriculars, all while simultaneously trying to figure out your plans for the future. This period is crucial in carrying yourself towards the finish, even if it's still not fully in sight. The last 100 meters is analogous to senior year. It's the home stretch. We've given it all we've got, and now we just have to make it to the finish. For us, this part was unique. We encountered unusual circumstances that obscured the end of the year. Everything began to decelerate, and crossing the finish line did not feel as rewarding as we had hoped. But despite these complications, we found ways to adapt and persevere. We may have completed our senior year, but the race does not end there. We have gained several strengths throughout this experience that have yet to be realized. The 400-meter race aligns almost perfectly with our time in high school, but it also presents us with a paradox. Once you cross that finish line, you end up right back at the start. This is applicable to our current situation. Each one of us will encounter a series of unknowns or beginnings as we pursue our future endeavors, but we are well prepared. We might still experience that sense of nervousness at the start, We have demonstrated that we have the strength, motivation, and ability to embrace these unknowns, as well as overcome them. Our next steps into the future will require us to fall back upon these attributes and apply them in various situations. After we graduate, it will now be up to us to make those decisions that will determine our course in life. We are now in control of where we are going, but we must acknowledge that life is not a sprint from start to finish. We must take it one lap at a time, focusing on our progression rather than our pace. We will experience a series of beginnings and endings, but each event will only better prepare us for the next. I would like to take one final moment to personally recognize the people who made my high school experience unforgettable. I would like to thank my teachers for enriching my education. Your enthusiasm in the classroom has inspired me to develop a true love for learning. My coaches, Eileen Fallon and Jim Younglove, who have taught me the value of hard work and always believed in my abilities, even when I might have lacked confidence. My friends, who have made everything more enjoyable and have encouraged me to come out of my shell. My family, for their constant love and support. And finally, I would like to thank my fellow peers with whom I share many fond memories. I wish our class all the best in the future. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Good evening, friends, family, and faculty. When I sat down to write this speech, I was extremely conflicted with which topic to speak about. It seems that every day brings a new surge of events and issues that deserve our attention. Thinking about this moment even a few months ago, I expected to have a shortage of ideas, but now I find myself feeling just the opposite. Topics that I had then planned to speak about seem outdated and trivial in comparison to the changing environment we live in. Sitting at graduation last year, I tried to imagine myself in the position of the class of 2019. The thought of experiencing all of the excitement of senior year was consuming. The elements of a traditional Haddon Township senior year, including senior trip to Disney, senior prom, watching all my peers commit to colleges and after-school plans, and saying one last goodbye to my teachers, seemed intangible and far in the distant future. I couldn't imagine myself then, much as I couldn't imagine braving the issues that we now combat on a daily basis. While we all had to swap prom dresses and suits for face masks, flying to Florida for coveted trips to the grocery store, and typical classroom antics for Zoom conversations, we rose to the challenge, as proven here tonight. Everyone has made drastic changes to daily routine in the past months, and everyone has felt the weight of those adjustments. I want to extend my appreciation and admiration for not just the class of 2020, but also our teachers, administrators, and family members for helping us adapt and press forward. We have all persevered through uncertain times, and we did so together. As we continue to live update to update, I implore you all to congratulate yourselves on the progress you have made, both individually and as a community. This wasn't the senior year we had all expected, but through the hard work of an inspiring and creative community, we have enjoyed time spent together nonetheless. We have leaders who embrace national changes, planning elaborate virtual events to celebrate the achievements of our class and fellow HT students. The execution of the virtual academic dinner, performing arts and varsity sports banquets, and senior awards is proof of the passion and strength of this school. And although these times have been unlike any before, there is nothing ambiguous or unclear about what our class has accomplished within the past 4 years. When I look before me, I see a class that has embraced progress and change with every chance it's received. I see a collaborative determination for change and responsibility. We have achieved many unprecedented accomplishments at HTHS, such as the enactment of the Environmental Club, the Musical Theater Elective, the Chemistry Club, both biology and chemistry Olympiad competitions, along with many other impressive milestones. The gowns we are all wearing today attest to that tenacity for change and inclusion. I am so proud of the unity we have embodied throughout high school, especially tonight. I look out to a sea of young adults, all different and exquisite in their own ways, with unique personalities and passions and future pursuits. I feel honored to have grown with you, to have watched you all forge your own paths, and to have joined you on my own. Tonight, while we embrace the 150 individuals of the class of 2020, we sit together, laugh together, and celebrate together, connected by years of memories and unified by a solid red gown. It is that collective spirit that I hope our class bears to the outside world. We are living in unprecedented times within an ever-changing world, but we are doing so together. We need to be the leaders who aren't afraid of a challenge, who choose to embrace the pioneering spirit of change. It is my hope that our class enters the world as a group of individuals with meaningful intentions, a group that has plans to achieve their goals, uplifting their peers along the way. And my biggest hope for my class, who sits before me, is that we all take advantage of the crazy, wonderful, and unpredictable world we find ourselves in together. Everyone feels fearful for not knowing all that life has in store, but there is great strength and beauty in braving madness, especially with good people to help you along the way. To the class of 2020, I loved sharing these years with you, and I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Good evening, parents, relatives, and friends, and welcome to the commencement exercises of Haddon Township High School. Tonight, the community celebrates the class of 2020. For graduation is a source of pride for everyone in Haddon Township. I would like to take a second to acknowledge the absence of Mayor Randall Teague and our commissioners, Mr. Ryan Linhart and Mr. James Mulroy. Knowing that we had to operate within a limited number of guests, these gentlemen have graciously stepped aside, offering their seats to others. I'd like to publicly thank them for that. Ladies and gentlemen, overseeing the policies and operation of the Haddon Township School District is the responsibility of the Board of Education and Central Administration. At this point, I will ask that they stand as they call their names individually. President, Mr. James Lex. Vice President, Mrs. Allison Rodney. Board members, Mrs. Renee Billingsley, Mr. Daniel Carson, Mr. Christopher Cook, Mrs. Marie Desmond, Ms. Kelly Hinkle, Mr. John Pendle, and Mr. David Ritchie. The Superintendent of Schools, Miss Bonnie Edwards. Business Administrator, Mrs. Jennifer Gall. Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, Mrs. Elizabeth Menning. And our high school assistant principals, Mr. Andrew Swasicki and Mr. Kevin Greenway. This ceremony would not be possible without the dedicated professionalism of our teachers. Faculty members, please stand to be honored. I ask now that you recognize the efforts of 6 district staff members who will be retiring after a combined 140 years of outstanding service to our great school district. And they are Bonnie Edwards, Charlene Barron, Brenda Morrow, Sue Pepiak, Bob Whiteman, and Ron Whistler. Now, graduates, it is time to honor your parents with appreciative applause. Thank you, parents, for all you do. Ladies and gentlemen, now please direct your attention to the program as I announce our top 10 students. Students, please stand as I call your name and remain standing. We have 2 young ladies who are tied for first this year, valedictorian Carly Henning and valedictorian Michaela Murphy. Salutatorian Amanda Balaban. Third in the class, Connor Sheehan. Also third in the class, Jack Cully. Fifth in the class, Luca Severino. Sixth in the class, Emily Marshall. Seventh in the class, Ryan Dowse. 8th in the class, Nina Shara. 9th in the class, Claire Fleming. And the next 4 students round out our top 10 as they all share identical GPAs. Jacob Alamer, Christina Booth, Catriona Scott, and Joseph Calucci. Thank you, you may be seated. Each year, very generous donors present awards and scholarships to our graduates, and it is with grateful pride that I read the names of this year's recipients. I would ask that each recipient stand for a moment of recognition and then be seated. The USMC First Lieutenant Jason D. Mann Memorial Scholarship, Khalif Bangura. The Louis J. Rapino Memorial Scholarship, Jillian Dengler. Outstanding Service and Leadership Scholarship, Isabel Sandone and Mitchell Sporing. The Bartlett Memorial Scholarship, Quinn Parker. Paul A. Conlon Memorial Scholarship, Kyle Hoops. The Charles and Marie McNamee Memorial Scholarship, Kirsten Farrell. The Guaranteed Rate Athletics Scholarship, Luca Severino. The Jean Tersakis Shandakayas Memorial Scholarship, Siani Tubins. The Frederick C. and Loretta B. Landgraf Memorial Scholarship, Jillian Dengler. The Bill Schmidt Scholarship, Kylie Sullivan and Connor Sheehan. Scholarship for a student pursuing a career in education in memory of Sue Ray, Haley Gomez, and Estefania Marino. The William and Elizabeth Wolf Scholarship, Haley Gomez. The Rotary Club of Audubon, Haddon Township, and Oak Lynn, Mitchell Sporing and Isabel Sandone. The Duane Merck Memorial Scholarship for the fastest female cross-country runner, Darby Williamson. The Helena Myerson Scholarship, Catriona Scott. Haddon Township High School Bart Payne Hall of Fame scholarships, Darby Williamson, Patrick Ifey, and Jacob Alamer. The Barbara Jean Hoffman Class of 1982 Memorial Scholarship, Allison Zacola. The Kiwanis Club of the Haddons Scholarship, Nina Shara. The HTAA Academic Athletic Achievement Scholarships, Carly Henning and Connor Sheehan. The HTAA Chuck Moser Memorial Scholarship for Outstanding Sportsmanship, Patrick Ifey and Kylie Sullivan. The HTAA Ralph Ravello Memorial Scholarships, Quinn Parker and Carly Polici. The Aurora Middle School's Students' Council Scholarship, Sarah Tress. The Sharon and Mark Rabitz Distinguished Character Scholarship, Kylie Sullivan. The Bruce Ratner Scholarship, Sarah Trez. The James F. Lamb Memorial Scholarship, Christina Booth. Tom Curley Outstanding Contribution Scholarship, Brett Hintz. The Anne-Marie Lynch Memorial Scholarships, Aidan Fegley, J.R. Lang, Carly Shaw, and Kylie Sullivan. The Daniel and Catherine Ebert Memorial Scholarship, Alexandra Mercado. The Joe Fallon Memorial Arts Scholarship, Callie Booth and Matthew Kona. The Sterling Michael Peterman Memorial Scholarship, Dominic Borelli. The Daniel N. Santora Jr. Memorial Scholarship, Sarah Trez. The Marilyn Wisman Helping Hands Scholarship, Jessica Dare. Scholarship for a student pursuing a career in athletic training or nursing, Marissa Dykes. The Coach Tom Curley Legacy Scholarship, Sean Donlin. The Sandra Marr Memorial Performing Arts Scholarships, Jillian Dengler and Jeffrey Berg. The Policemen's Benevolent Association Scholarship for Career in Law Enforcement, Joseph Tolucci and Giovanna Brahms. Michael Anthony Dapolone Memorial Scholarship, Quinn Parker. The Haddon Township Zone PTA Scholarships, of which there are $9,000 in total for the following students: Jacob Alamer, Joanna Barton, Giovanna Brahms, Jillian Dengler, Claire Fleming, Carly Henning, Alexandra Mercado, Carly Polici, Erica Peterson, Catriona Scott, and Alexandra Tingley. The Haddon Township Education Association Scholarship, Kylie Sullivan. The Mark Springer and George Meyer Jr. Memorial Scholarships, Alexandra Tingley and Jack Sabell. The Friends and Colleagues of Bill Conlon Performing Arts Scholarships, Caroline Quattro and Amanda Balaban. The Franklin P. Jackson III Memorial Professional Scholarship, Carly Polici. The Danielle Kasulis Memorial Scholarship, Kylie Sullivan. Perseverance Scholarships from First Colonial Community Bank, Callie Booth, Christina Booth, Madeline Cunningham, and Nina Shara. The Paul F. Gilligan III Memorial Scholarships, Jacob Alamer and Kylie Sullivan. the William G. Rohr Scholarships, Carly Polici, Alexandra Tingley, Madison Schultz, Mason Weaver, and Quinn Parker. The Camden County Bar Association and Foundation Outstanding Service Award, Carly Henning. The New Jersey State Elks Association Camden County Scholarship, Mitchell Sporing. The Bobby Fulton Scholarship, Connor Sheehan. Included in the program is a list of awards already presented to members of the class of 2020 at our Senior Awards Assembly. Would all of those recipients please stand together to be recognized? The program also indicates a list of seniors who are receiving financial awards and scholarships presented by colleges and other organizations. Would those recipients please stand now? I would also like to recognize a young man who has committed to serve in the United States via military enlistment. Khalif Bangura has already reported to the United States Army and will be proudly serving our country. While he could not be with us this evening, I would like to ask everyone in the audience who has served this great country to please stand and receive the same thanks and appreciation we have for Khalif. Thank you so much. At this time, I'd like to recognize a young lady who has accomplished a rather remarkable feat. Alexandra Tingley has managed to achieve perfect attendance throughout her entire high school career. Please join me in celebrating this noteworthy accomplishment. There is a long-standing tradition at the high school to award H-pins to students and faculty who have distinguished themselves in some particular way. At the awards assembly, the following students received H-pins: Caroline Quattro, Luca Severino, Mitchell Sporing, Kylie Sullivan. Faculty H-pins are based upon years of service, scholarship, leadership, character, and quality teaching. For many years, we have been giving these H-pins at graduation. At this time, selected students will read brief bios of those teachers and present those pins.
Our first H-pin recipient is nothing short of a Haddon Township icon. He has dedicated the last 30 years to the students of Haddon Township High School, taking on numerous fundamental roles in our school community, all of which, in some way, having to do with making the lives of every student brighter. As a teacher, he has worked tirelessly through the years to make their material and classes relatable, engaging, entertaining, and in general, doing whatever it takes to cultivate their students' success. As a coach, their dedication, knowledge, and passion for the game of basketball fueled their amazing leadership and guidance and ignited a similar love and inspiration in all of their players on the courts of Haddon Township for many years. However, it certainly does not stop there. From the professional happy birthday singer to the one and only pep rally MC to our resident Disney fanatic, I can promise this recipient contributed so much more to Haddon Township than their job titles may show us. To many younger siblings' disappointment, this extraordinary faculty member is retiring this year. finally ditching the halls of HTHS for the Sunshine State and a season pass to the happiest place on earth. While he will be more than deeply missed by all of the faculty, students, and alumni of Haddon Township High School, I like to think of it as my own favorite Disney character, Winnie the Pooh, says. How lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard? And Haddon Township, we know we can never answer this question because there are no words for how lucky we've been to have Ronald Wister a part of our family for 30 years. Today, we dedicate this 8th pin to you, Mr. Wister. From the class of 2020, we congratulate you on your outstanding career and wish you all the best on your future endeavors. You're off to great places.
This next HPIN recipient is relatively new to HT, however, he's quickly become a favorite among students. In his classes, he covers politics of the past and present and finds creative ways to draw parallels between the two. His passion for teaching is evident, but his investment in his students' education and well-being are even more remarkable. In the classroom, he keeps students engaged by generating discussions and offering assignments that make the material more interesting. Throughout our entire online learning experience, he has provided his students with several interactive learning activities and has made himself available to anyone who had questions, needed extra help, or just wanted to check in. He has also made an effort to uplift his students by posting song recommendations, fun questions, and meaningful messages. These gestures have given us reassurance during these unusual and uncertain times. In just 2 years, he has had an extremely positive impact at HTHS. By and large, we are happy to have him as a member of our history department and to honor Mr. Dusak as one of this year's HPIN recipients.
Even though this next HPIM recipient is unable to attend tonight, the class of 2020 would like to honor them through this reading. A person's most useful asset is not a head full of knowledge, but rather a heart full of love, an ear willing to listen, and a hand willing to help others. This HPIM recipient is a culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and care towards anything and anyone he works with. It is hard not to be in awe at the care and attention that this person gives to every student, regardless if he teaches them. This recipient embodies the mantra, cura personalis, care for the whole person. He is a staple in the halls of HTHS, and his face is not one easily forgotten. He is always in the halls offering a friendly hello or hey between periods to any student that passes by, regardless if he ever taught them. From the classroom to the halls to after school, this faculty member cares for each student in this school. He cares not only that the student is succeeding academically, but also that they are doing well emotionally. His door is always open to those students who need academic help or those that need someone to listen. When asking fellow students to describe this recipient, he is selfless, caring, and most of all, a true friend. His commitment to the well-being of others does not stop at the doors of HTHS. He is one of the advisors to the Intellect Club and has helped facilitate large-scale fundraisers as well as help students foster a sense of community when and wherever they may be in their service endeavors. This recipient is someone who truly knows what it means to be compassionate in all self-endeavors. The impact that he has made since his arrival 5 years ago has been immeasurable. Because of his dedication to everything he does, his genuine kindness, and his constant care for the whole person, I'm honored to announce that the next HPIM recipient is Mr. Basile. Congrats on your graduation.
This next HPIN recipient has a one-of-a-kind energy that makes her loved by her students. It's evident that she loves what she does through the effort she puts into teaching and the compassion she shares with her students. Though the curriculum she teaches can be difficult and stressful, she always seems to find a way to make math and life a little more exciting. Her ability to teach complex topics with creativity shined through whether she was taking us on a trip to Integral Land or teaching us about horizontal totes. It's hard to think of this teacher without thinking of her perfectly matched outfits or the laughter shared and jokes told during the 45 minutes many of us spent with her each day. Her positivity spreads beyond the classroom. In the winter, she coaches the swim team with the same enthusiasm, despite practices being at 6 a.m. Seeing her in the hallway with her infectious smile motivates everyone around her to emit the same energy. You can imagine how excited this teacher gets for holidays and Spirit Week. She comes to school decked out in head-to-toe holiday gear, whether it be Christmas or Valentine's Day. Not to mention, her room is also full of decorations. If you were lucky enough to have this HPIN recipient as a teacher during remote learning, you know that she truly did not give up on her students. She continued to encourage us with informative Zooms, questions over Google Classroom, and a fun scavenger hunt. She was as amazing and positive on an iPad screen as she was every day in class. This teacher loves her quotes of the week, so it's only fitting to incorporate one in this speech. In the words of Mother Teresa, spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier. Thank you, Ms. McDermott, for enriching our lives. Because of you, we are leaving Haddon Township High School happier.
It has been said that the best teachers teach from the heart and not the book. This next HPIN recipient has been a part of the HTHS community for the past 15 years and has a huge heart. Her ability to connect with her students and create a welcoming environment allows her students to feel comfortable in her presence and fully engage in class. She constantly supports everyone around her and never fails to make people laugh. Her capability to be up to date with her students' lives and current culture, such as music and slang, always puts a smile on everyone's faces. She's always there for her students and is constantly providing advice and a judgment-free classroom for her students to express themselves. Not only is she a teacher, but she is also a friend who is caring, easygoing, and accepting. Throughout the good and the bad days, she never gives up on her students and always wants to see them succeed. Her love for us is just as pure as her love for Dean the Basset Hound. I am glad to have been her student for the past 3 years and will cherish the times we have spent together. This HPIN goes to the one and only Miss Austin.
Even though this next HPIN recipient is unable to attend tonight, the class of 2020 would be honored for them to read this to them. The next HPIN recipient is a man driven by his passion to teach and build. He cares deeply about each individual he teaches and provides a safe environment in his class. We all cannot begin to explain the amount of gratitude for all the efforts he makes to not only teach his students, but to succeed in giving them a memorable experience in high school. Not all can say that they are leaving high school with the knowledge to make TV stands, park benches, picnic tables, lounge chairs, and more. We wish him the best health in retirement as him and his family relocate to Maine. So the next HPIN gladly goes out to Robert Weichman. Unfortunately, Mr. Weichman could not be here with us tonight. even though we know he's in here with the Spirit.
We are all fortunate to be part of a community that embraces diversity. In fact, our country is built on the foundation of different cultures coming together to learn from one another and succeed as one. The next HPIN recipient supports our students by providing them with one of the most critical skills needed to succeed, the power of language. Over the past 29 years, she has openly welcomed K-12 students for whom English is not their primary language. She has embraced the challenge of not only teaching, but ensuring our students feel connected to the school community. Her lessons are often filled with small gestures of kindness like a warm smile, which is universally understood. She works tirelessly to establish a positive, meaningful relationship with each of her students. Her altruism extends well beyond the confines of the classroom, as she assists her students with post-secondary planning and life after HTHS. The impact of her work is often seen in the success and smiling faces of her students and peers. So gracias, merci, danke, terima kasih, shukriya, or thank you, Ms. Susan Pepiak, for helping your students feel a part of the Haddon Township School community.
Even though this next HPIN recipient is unable to attend tonight, the class of 2020 would like to honor them through this reading. This HPIN goes out to a teacher who hasn't necessarily been here for too long, but the connection she has made with her students will go on for years to come. Even if she hasn't had you directly as a student, when walking through the hallway, I'm sure you've had at least a friendly conversation with her. She exemplifies the traits needed by not only a great teacher, but a Haddon Township teacher. Let's be honest, our staff is special. Applying herself to the class day in and day out, coming early, staying late, and making sure every one of her students is not left behind, and having that special talent that even if you were having a bad day, she knew how to make it better. The energy she brings, her commitment to each and every lesson she teaches, and most of all, the friendliness and connection she makes with her students has not gone unnoticed these past 3 years. From writing college recommendations, to helping with out-of-school events, and her enticing, always on-the-move style of teaching her class, this teacher can do it all. And we are truly blessed to have her as an English teacher. The class of 2020 would like to present this HPIN to the wonderful Mrs. Mikolzak.
This next HPIN recipient joined the Haddon Township family in 2011. As the Child Study Team Director, she advocated tirelessly for our special education population, always striving to improve their educational experience here in the district. In 2015, she donned a construction helmet and transitioned to the superintendency. She must have been an interior designer in a previous life, as she took to picking paint colors, selecting door types, and ensuring that all the bricks matched. More importantly, she worked with administrators and contractors alike to make sure that our buildings are up to date, safe, and secure. All this while managing the day-to-day challenges of running the district. In her own life, she is a devoted ice skater, and her passion for athletics ensured that we had a new track and new tennis courts so that Haddon Township sports teams can continue to thrive for years to come. She ensured that our one-to-one iPad initiative was supported, which continues to prepare our students for success in life after graduation. While most of our community knows her for those late night and early morning phone calls regarding snow days, what they don't know is just how protective she is over the Hawk soap dispensers now located throughout the schools. Whatever you do, please don't mess with them. When announcing her retirement last year, we never imagined what was to come with the pandemic. She has led us through this most difficult time, cheering us up and cheering us on with an airplane flyover and now an in-person graduation. From counselor to creative thinker to constant cheerleader, she has done all of this and more. And personally, I can't think of anyone more worthy of an H-pin than Miss Bonnie Edwards to lead our district, 5 elementary schools, a middle school, and a high school through a pandemic for months. It takes a really special person to do that, to overcome extreme obstacles so smoothly. We wouldn't be here on our football field graduating if it weren't for you. And honestly, we wouldn't have made it through all this craziness if it weren't for you. So between myself, the class of 2020, our parents, the teachers, the rest of the faculty, can we please give a big round of applause to Superintendent Bonnie Edwards.
At this time, I'd like to issue one more H-pin. For only the second time in the history of HTHS, it gives me great pleasure to honor an entire class with an H-pin. I do so in recognition of your uncommon commitment, courage, and kindness during extraordinarily trying times. Thank you very much, class of 2020. This pin will forever be bound to your class. Friends, relatives, honored guests, humanity is one indivisible whole throughout time and space. These are the words of Paul Rivet, French physician, ethnologist, and director of the Musée de l'Homme. He used them intentionally and defiantly to explain the Museum of Mankind's name during a time when Hitler's menace loomed over Europe and Nazi occupation of his homeland settled in. The emphases of these words and of his museum were simply, but unmistakably, on the similarities between people rather than the differences. He inaugurated this museum with its modernized name and message before an audience of the artistic, intellectual, and political elite of France. Well, is this timely for us? I don't know. I guess it depends on how you define, quantify, and/or experience time and the events that shape the lives of those living within its confines. While 1940 was 26 years before I was born, I do know that it is not required that one be alive at the same time nor exist on the same continent as others to find example, purpose, and inspiration in their spirit and actions. To recognize when humans are, to use two words that are admittedly thrown around too much, too loosely today, awesome or amazing. You, the class of 2020, generally speaking, are not awesome or amazing. However, you're all capable of doing awesome and amazing things when the time is right. And when might that be, you may ask? I really will never know. You will have to decide. However, I can offer you two pieces of advice based upon my personal experiences with respect to timing. Number one, do not wait for the stars to align to call yourself to action. You will rarely, if ever, encounter the perfect situation or scenario to make a difference. This should come as no surprise to anyone. After all, we are all imperfect beings living in an imperfect world. Therefore, too, trust your gut and your heart. They will seldom lead you astray. If you have not heard from either of them recently, might I suggest that you genuinely try to identify what has prevented that discourse, humbly seek assistance if need be, and then commit to removing those impediments systematically and intentionally. At the end of the day, always bet on yourself. Have the confidence to captain your own ship. It's a song from 1970 by a really cool band known as Grand Funk Railroad, entitled Closer to Home, or more commonly, I'm Your Captain. It's about the pleas of a sea captain who, on a troubled voyage, is facing mutiny from his crew. And even though most music aficionados will readily interpret the lyrics with an eye to the Vietnam War as the obvious active backdrop of the times, the beauty of any written set of words is that they can be appreciated and applied in a myriad of ways over time. And so when I hear the following, today I consider the undeniable value of carving out one's own path, personally, and with great sincerity. Everybody, listen to me and return me my ship. I'm your captain. I'm your captain, though I'm feeling mighty sick. I've been lost now, days uncounted, and it's months since I've seen home. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Or am I all alone? And just a bit later in the song, the refrain demands, you better think about it. I just can't live without it. So please, don't take my ship from me. And speaking of captains, in Oh Captain, My Captain, Walt Whitman in 1865 calls for us to honor a certain ship's captain, specifically in 3 lines delivered independently of each other, one in each stanza. And they are, the port is near, the bells I hear, the people are all exulting. O captain, my captain, rise up and hear the bells. Exalt, O shores, and ring, O bells. Which bells are these, you may ask? Well, for me, they very well could be the bells Bob Dylan in 1989 demanded be rung for the blind and the deaf, for all of us who are left, for the time that flies, for the child that cries, when the innocence dies. I believe Abraham Lincoln, the original subject of Whitman's work, would approve. I was moved to write this speech when I heard Sarah Trez share, and quite beautifully I might add, a poem entitled Today is Your Day by Erin Mellenbacher with her classmates at the baccalaureate a few weeks ago. When I talked to her about it, she told me that Mrs. Hart thought it represented this class perfectly. I couldn't agree more. Consider this stanza. Today is your day. Through trials long, and many did they come, though some caused fall. Just some, not all, did tempt your heart to run. Well, this class certainly has not run. I think you, more than any other class I've had the privilege to oversee, now understand that the statement, if I only had more time, is not only fruitless, it also weakens us. You can appreciate that the same 24 hours in a day are afforded to all of us, and we will never get any more per day at any time in our lives. Furthermore, I believe you can value the import of motivational speaker Joe Dwyer's message when he reminds us that the key to doing great things is recognizing that we must all live intentionally within the time afforded us, according to our passion and our purpose and our ethics, and nothing more. Recent times have taught you those invaluable lessons, and I believe you have passed the test. Because of that, I have great confidence in your ability to fully embrace and genuinely live the following sentiments from another respected motivational speaker, Mr. Craig Harper. Every now and then, a person with no agenda, no ulterior motive, and no self-interest will take pleasure in helping you succeed, grow, and live your purpose. This person will operate in love, will seek no praise, and will want nothing in return. This person is a gift. I humbly ask 2 things this evening. 1, that you be fully present when these gifts are bestowed upon you. Don't be distracted by the trivial. 2, may you present the same gifts to others without hesitation many times over. Live intentionally during your time with us, and I guarantee the world will be a better place. Congratulations, and God bless. Ms. Edwards, I hereby certify that all members present from the class of 2020 have met all of the requirements for graduation as set forth by the New Jersey State Board of Education and the Haddon Township Board of Education, and I recommend each for a Haddon Township High School diploma.
And really seriously, have respect for the adorable Hawk soap dispensers. Not kidding about that. In all my years of education, I have never been happier or more proud to stand before you today as we, at long last, gather to celebrate the commencement of the class of 2020. Or more thankful for our seniors, families, staff members, administrators, and board members for working so hard to get us to this wonderful moment. Graduates, as we lined up to begin our processional this evening, it occurred to me that the processional itself may be the best tangible illustration of the year that you graduated. A year that has included events that no one has experienced for more than 100 years. As you processed, you each put one foot in front of the other, in rhythm, walking together in the same direction. As you walked, you had awareness of your fellow seniors, teachers, and administrators walking in front of you, behind you, beside you. You also had awareness of your loved ones cheering you on as you reached your destination, this field where we now gather together as a school community to celebrate your many accomplishments. In 1918, the last time that students encountered a pandemic, schools often had students of different ages in a single class. States required children to attend school only through the 8th grade. Most students walked to school, although some rode horses or donkeys. When schools were closed due to disease outbreaks, little formal schooling took place at home, and students worked or focused on the many chores that needed doing, since there were no child labor laws at that time. In 2020, via modern technology and social media, you were able to keep connected with friends and teachers, at least to some extent, during our school closure. You were also bombarded with a variety of messages about staying positive, thinking about how to help others, and focusing on your own wellness. Well-meaning adults tried their best to help you feel better, and celebrities encouraged you to celebrate a virtual graduation while embracing the future. Easy for them to say, right? I mean, they've already made it in their careers. They have a big house to live in, and they're set for life. The reality is that your plans were interrupted, and the future looks different than what you expected, and no celebrity shout-out can change that. So this brings me back to walking. Since I was a little girl, I have walked as a way of clearing my head, thinking about problems and solutions, or just reconnecting with the rhythm of walking when I feel out of balance in life. I have not kept track of how many miles I've walked this year, but I have no doubt that I've obliterated any previous annual record I've ever had. At such an uncertain time, putting one foot in front of the other is not a simple task. But I have faith in this class of 2020, that you will do precisely that. Why? Amidst all of the noise and competing messages, each one of you chose to continue to complete your graduation requirements despite the many challenges of doing so remotely. You chose to make the most of the senior activities you were able to participate in, virtually as well as in person. You took time to recognize what was going on in the world around you and didn't focus solely on your own personal loss. And you processed onto this field tonight with masks on in mid-July, still putting one foot in front of the other to finally receive your diploma. While plenty of uncertainty still lies ahead, the most noble thing any of us can do at this moment in history is to keep going. Just like the processional, your families and school community will walk with you and support you in each step you take. Your plans may need to change in the short term, but your dreams will remain constant if you carry them with you as you walk. One foot, then the other, as you establish the rhythm of walking toward your future. When you reach your dreams, you may look back and realize what you did at its core was just keep going. Congratulations, class of 2020. You have so much more than earned it. Now I would like to bring up Jim Lex, our president of the Board of Education.
On behalf of the Haddon Township Board of Education, I am honored and privileged to say congratulations, class of 2020. Getting to this point has been a very interesting journey, and we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Good luck, class of 2020.
At this time, with Senior Class President Abigail Walton and Senior Class Vice President Caroline Quattro go forward and receive your diplomas. Abigail and Caroline will assist me by reading the names of their peers who will also be receiving diplomas.
Get it? Okay. Madison Elizabeth Schultz. Catriona Ann Scott. Jacob James Almer. Nina Rosalie Shara. Emily Sharon Marshall. Jack Connor Tully. Amanda Kathleen Balaban. Carly Joy Henning. Michaela Rose Murphy. Connor Doherty Sheehan. Luca Joseph Severino. Ryan Anthony Dowse. Claire Alice Fleming. Christina Ellen Booth. Joseph Tyler Tolucci. Sarah Charlotte Trez.
Erica Lindsay Peterson. Carly Elizabeth Shaw. Ella Catherine O'Connor. Alexandra Marie Mercado. Grace Colleen Kelly Turkay. Nicole Isabella Guerrero. Isabella Marie Troncone. Erin Renee Fleming. Estefania Marino. Brianna Elizabeth Hatterer. Jane Camden Gerber. Lillian Page Kane. Lillian Giuliani Alice Medina. Haley Nicole Gomez. Sophia Elizabeth Paste. Callie Ann Booth.
Dante Liberio Ferreira. Allison Patricia Zacola. Kylie Lavetta Sullivan. Paige Nicole Metz. Kirsten Taylor Farrell. Madeline Nicole Cunningham. Elizabeth Ann Trombetta. Isabel Avalon Sandone. Ismael Santiago Jr. Marissa Taylor Dykes. Jamie Lynn Kennedy. Claire Michelle Watson. Sierra Sky Rivera. Dylan John Tomaselli. Heidi Jasmine Adame.
Avery Jane Mankiewicz. Ashanti Ashley Jones. Carrie Caroline Dietrich. Danielle Lynn Bishop. Nicholas John Villiano Tyrrell. Joshua Mark Wright Johnson. Saket Hoy. Skylar Nicole Johnson. Carly Jean Palici. Darby Elizabeth Williamson. Giovanna Elizabeth Brahms. Kimberly Marie Flynn. Colin Andrew Jones. Aaron Lee Martin.
Jonathan Andrew Chenault. Maggie Elizabeth McAfee. John Richard Lang. Carly Paige Flynn. Jillian Danielle Dangler. Jessica Marie Dare. Dominic Filippelli Sica. Rachel Leanne Parker. Paige Logan Morris. Portia Malia Castillo. Joseph Patrick Clausen. Sarah Rose DeFreitas. Aiden Matthew Fegley. Michael Vincent Horniak. Khalid Michael Martin. Owen Che Oyola.
Gavin Alexander Hope. Patrick Walter Ifey. Matthew David Kona. John Paul Francis Myers. Maya Sanea Gamble. Jimmy Frederick Kale. James Matthew Barrett. Jake Alexander Wells. Joanna Meredith Barton. Kyler Angelino Ford. Hugh James McGuire. Mitchell William Sporing. Kevin James DeSink. John Joseph Haig. Anthony Michael Johnson.
Tyler Austin Fullerton. Matthew Brian Crowley. Andrew James Tillinghast. William John Knudsen. Jackson Coleridge Green. Nicholas Andrew D'Angelo. Jason Sonny Ward. Jack Colton Bradley. Nolan Thomas McHugh. Jacob Anthony Sprinsky. Matthew James Weller. Sean Patrick Donlin. Jacqueline Elaine Ray Mazza. Adam Michael Steck. Amelia Dakota Bissey. Aiden Xavier Engwall.
Aiden Francis Mackerlane. Kyle Edward Hoops. Dominic James Borelli. Tyler Stephen Williams. John Paul Savell. Justin Daniel Merrifield. Michael Paul Martino. Jason Thomas Hiltner. Ian William Thomas Graham. Brett Adam Hintz. Justin Merck. Jacob Isaiah Noble. Anthony Sharetto. Jeffrey Thomas Bird. Tristan William Burnham. Konstantinos G. Kafetsis.
Brandon Matthew Tanier. Nicholas Ian Perks. Matthew Ryan Kuna. Jason Phillip Brooks. Eric Zachary Shuttleworth. Caleb Milo Atkins. James Galen Reese. Quinn Parker. Emerson Aubrey Revere. Noah John Robertson. John Samuel Mulgrave. Alexandra Natalia Tingley. Mason Charles Weaver. Michael Anthony Davis. And Matthew John Sheehan.
Good evening and congrats to the class of 2020. I will keep this speech brief because I realize I'm the only thing between you and air conditioning. Firstly, a big thank you is due to our school and administration for allowing an in-person graduation to take place. The work you have put in during this time has not gone unnoticed. And to our teachers, dealing with our senioritis in September was bad, so I can't imagine what online learning was like for you guys. Our class is extremely lucky to have faculty who have always gone above and beyond for their students. We cannot begin to thank you enough. Now, I'm sure this isn't the graduation day any of us would have imagined, but it certainly will not be forgotten. As a class, we started out strong, but when it came to dealing with disappointment after disappointment, from Disney being canceled to our spring sports seasons, it's safe to say we have only gotten stronger. And as we come to the end of our ceremony, we should remember what we did get out of our senior year and not what we lost. We got to have our own Saturday Night Lights football game, a spirit dance and cotillion. The choir performed a song with kazoos. Our fall play and musical. We had a spirit week where our hallway decorations fell apart even before we got to school the next day. Senior girls won powder puff. And to kick off the year, we had our senior breakfast and games. The list goes on. So soak up the last few minutes we have as high school seniors. Remember the good times you had here and prepare for the good times ahead as life takes us all on our own paths. Thank you to our families, friends, teachers, and administration who helped us get here today. We certainly will never forget our senior year, and we hope you won't forget our class. This one's for 2020. Congratulations.
Before I formally introduce you to the 2020 graduates, I would like to remind everyone that we are expected to vacate the premises in a timely and orderly manner. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the Haddon Township High School class of 2020.